I wanted to kick off the month of November with our monthly Q&A. Thank you so much to everyone that participated. I thought today I would focus on a lot of the questions I got regarding brokenness. How can I heal from it? Can I still be used by it? See, the thing about brokenness is it's almost one of the most difficult pains to deal with, because you can take a pill for your backache or your headache, but what do you do to numb the pain of a broken spirit? I remember I had this shelf and I would just continually stack it with all of this stuff until one day I exceeded its capacity and the shelf broke from the weight of the load that it was carrying. I think sometimes life will throw weight on us and we reach a point where our capacity has been exceeded, and so we break under the pressure of disappointment or under the pressure of our own failures or the pain that others caused us, and we come to a place where we are now broken due to the weight of things that have been holding us down. People often say God will never put more on you than you can bear, and it makes me cringe. First of all, the scripture was talking about temptation, but I think to myself, the Lord will absolutely put more on you than you can bear, because the burden was never intended for you to carry in the first place. You know, it's like even the lightest things to God are heavy to us. So it's in our own inability that we ultimately discover what it means to surrender to His ability. When things are created, their design takes capacity into consideration. You know, certain things just weren't built to carry certain loads. And it's when we start trying to carry beyond our capacity that we really begin to get ourselves into trouble. When I take on the burden of trying to convince you to love me, I have exceeded my capacity and break under the pressure of a load that never belonged to me in the first place. See, it's not your responsibility to get someone to see the value in you. You just weren't created for that. Which brings up another question that I think was great that I received, which said, why is it so hard to love the people that hurt you? Why? Because it's easy for your heart to love, but it's difficult for your mind to forget. We get caught up in a tug of war between a heart that wants so badly to embrace someone and a mind that remembers the consequences of doing so. So the difficulty that you experience in learning to love those who have disappointed you is only natural. Disappointment comes when the reality of who you are falls short of who I expected you to be. I think sometimes we get hurt because what we expect or need from people is more than their purpose to give you in that season. I think about Jesus. You know, He chose Judas knowing that Judas would betray him, which means that Jesus loved Judas despite the pain that He knew he'd cause. He chose him anyway because betrayal was necessary for the fulfillment of Jesus's purpose. I think that's what God means when He said to love those who persecute you. You know, it's easier to love your enemy, and it's easier to love those who hurt you when you understand their role in God's purpose in elevating you. But you can love from a distance. The scripture says that He is near to the brokenhearted. I imagine that to mean that He has the ability to fill those empty places in your life. You know, make an effort to really surrender your pain to Him, because I guarantee you He is strong enough to